Hey there, Celestial Mystics. It's your girl, Tiffany Satchel. Go ahead. It's your girl, Tiffany Satchel, your 1111 coach. Welcome back. You know, we talk about magic, we talk about cosmic laws, and we talk about angels and tarot. I wonder what they're doing on this road over here. Can I go down that way? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I can. Okay, there's all these things going on in the city, man. Every time I turn around, people come to my job like, what's going on? What are they doing out here? I'm like, I don't know, man. But anyway, like I said, we talk about magic, we talk about angels, we talk about universal laws, and we talk about tarot. And you're in for a treat because today we're diving into something really spectacular. The brightest and largest supermoon of 2024, the Hunter's Moon. I saw it about 6 o'clock. It was huge. Huge. The full moon. It was so bright. But I'm talking about the supermoon. The full moon is what I saw. And I was like, wow. But if you're on the East Coast, I'm on the East Coast. I'm in New Jersey. Then the supermoon is at 7:26 a.m. And get ready because this super moon is a whole vibe. It's a time to connect with the cosmic energy of the moon. Right now, you can make some things happen. And I want to help you tap into the powerful energy that this super moon has to offer. So in this video, we're going to talk about why it's called the Hunter's Moon, why this supermoon is so special, and I'm going to give you some tips on how you can work with its energy to manifest your Four of Wands life, a square life of perfect health, abundant wealth, perfect self-expression, and healthy and balanced relationships with yourself and others. Because we only deal with fair exchanges of energy over here. And I'll also speak on why I feel that Archangel Sachael and Archangel Gabriel can be of great support for you right now. Be a great support. We're helping you to work with this lunar energy. So I hope that you stick around to the end. This video might be a little long, but I promise you'll be ready to manifest like never before. And before we dive into this deep magic, I just want to set the mood. Why did the moon go to therapy? Because it was going through a phase. But seriously, this phase is one you don't want to miss. So let's get into it. So what exactly is the Hunter's Moon? This is interesting. The Hunter's Moon is the first full moon after the harvest moon, which is the full moon closest to the autumn equinox. Okay? So now, back in the day, hunters would use the bright moonlight to track and hunt game, preparing for the winter months. The moon was their guiding light leading them to the resources they needed to survive the cold. So you could think of it as a cosmic reminder to gather your resources and focus on what you need before winter's energy kicks in. Now let's talk about what makes this super moon so freaking super. A supermoon occurs when the moon is at its closest point to the earth in orbit. So this hunter's moon will be so close to us, it'll feel like it's right in your backyard. And I saw it. It looks huge and bright. Well, just the full moon is what I saw. I haven't seen the super moon because the super moon doesn't begin till 7:26 a.m. Eastern time. So depending on where you are. Now this super moon amplifies the moon's natural energy. And like I said, it's really big at like 6 o'clock. I saw it. I think that was 6, right? It was pretty early. What time did I go on my break? Like 6:30. That's what time. I went outside and I was sitting in my car and I looked up and I was like, damn, look at that full moon. I started to take a video, but I just didn't. I should have took a picture. But this moon, the energy of this, the natural energy of this moon, well, I say natural, the energy of this moon coupled with this super moon, the energy of the full moon coupled with the super moon at this time is going to be extra potent for manifestations, emotional breakthroughs, and spiritual growth. But this particular supermoon is something special because we're working with the full moon in Aries. So say hello to action and initiation energy, because this thing is big. But the sun in Libra, which means there's a focus on balance, relationships, and harmony, coupled with the full moon in Aries, these energies pull you between charging forward and maintaining harmony with the people around you and even with yourself, with your core frequency of abundance. Okay? And that's why the law of essential integrity is important right now. Because the law of essential integrity says that you can do both. And this super moon is going to help you to take aligned action, the aligned action that is in harmony with your highest good. Now, you're probably feeling intense vibes, and that's because the moon is lit up by some pretty powerful planetary energies. Okay, so now we got both Mercury and Venus in Scorpio, which turns up the heat on transformation, in communication, in our relationships. And then you got Mars in Cancer, which brings an emotional drive to nurture and protect whatever it is that you feel brings you security or that you just love, right? And then you have Jupiter and Gemini. That brings curiosity and expansion. And then we got Saturn retrograding, Uranus retrograding. So a lot of us are being forced to revisit old dreams and spiritual lessons, and at the same time dealing with a shakeup with our stability, a shakeup in the area of our stability. Because the Taurus energy, the things that we value, is being shaken up. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. I feel that. Remember, right now, guys, I still haven't buried my child's father. I'm in the process of going through that. this thing ain't gonna be over till Friday. All week, this is what I've been dealing with. So I'm hoping that I could use this super moon myself to, to heal. I don't know what I'm going to walk into, because we're performing the viewing of the body, which is awake, and this is a Islamic funeral. So they're doing a viewing of the body on Thursday, and then they're doing what's called a janasa on Friday. And I had to help my son plan this whole thing out. And this is what I was talking about. If you watch my other video where I was talking about essential integrity while I'm dealing with this with my son and father, because there's things that I had already had planned, especially for this week around this full moon, and I had to change my whole program. I had to change everything. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to do it like that. I'm going to have to include this experience and invoke some type of healing into my life from this experience, because it's, like I said, it's hard for me to relate to what my son is going through, because I have both my parents. Anyway, I digress. With all these energies combined, it's like a cosmic cocktail that is pushing us towards deep personal breakthroughs. So here's a tip on how you can work with this energy, okay? There's 4 things that you want to do for this Hunter's Moon. You want to embrace bold action, seek balance in your relationships, transform old patterns, and ground your emotional desires. Because the full moon in Aries encourages us to take bold, decisive action. Might not even have time to think like I did. I ain't really had time to think. I just had to move. Without any hesitation. It's like, look, are you going to do this? Are you going to be supportive here? Are you going to help here? Are you going to push this back? So, you're not going to be able to do this now. This is what you have to do, This is what's on your plate. Ooh, a whole family of baby deers. And the mama and the papa. I think those are 2 adults. I know those are 2 adults. Wow. That was heartwarming. So it's like you got to think about, like, what do you really want? I think that's what Uranus is saying. Uranus is like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you value? Because I'm about to toss everything up. I'm about to blow everything up. So you better think about what it is that you really want, Tiffany. That's how I felt. This moon asks us to take a leap. Leap into the direction of what it is that you're saying that you want. What is it that you're saying that you need? And remember, the sun is still in Libra. So this super moon is definitely about you. It's about your connections with others and yourself. And how you can bring more harmony into your relationships. Like, maybe it's time to have heart-to-heart conversations. Those heart-to-heart conversations that you've been avoiding, to reestablish healthy boundaries. I know I'm not sure who's going to be at this janasa or at the viewing of the body. I just know I've been estranged to everyone. I haven't even been around people in high school. And then, even those heart-to-heart conversations with those that have transitioned. Maybe it is time for you to have those conversations. As I told you, just because someone has left this realm doesn't mean that you still aren't connected to their spirit. So maybe it is time for you to have that conversation. Say those things that you couldn't say before. Do it now. So that you can release those emotions and transmute them before the winter time fully comes in. You know, make room for the new things that the universe has in store for you. So it's not just about healing those relationships that are physically here, because those relationships that you're still holding on to, those conversations, those emotions that you're still holding on to, it's taking up space and it's holding you back, weighing you down. And you don't want to do that. With this super moon, you want to let go of everything so you could be as light as a feather and you can move forward. So I encourage you to heal those relationships with those who have passed on. You know. And like I said, I'm saying this from a personal experience. Like, you know, if you're still holding on to and harboring, negative energy or even unresolved issues with those that have passed on, like when my child's father passed away, it happened at a time when I was celebrating my mom's birthday with my siblings, and we had just got back together. Like, me and my sisters had just got back close again. So you're talking about going from a moment that was filled with, it was like a mix of emotions of joy for my mother's celebration, and then grief for the loss of my child's father, and then having to have empathy for my son. What is that, a fox? Dang, that's all kinds of animals. Having empathy for my son at a time when he just lost his freaking role model, so abruptly. I'm talking about a profound sense of reflection. Woo. But I guess that in situations like this, we're encouraged to find peace and balance with those who have transitioned, because it's not just about letting go, it's about healing that energy that remains between you and that person, whether it was not a not so great relationship or a great relationship. It doesn't matter. Because even though they are no longer here in this physical world, the connection that you shared still exists. That connection that I shared with my child's father still exists. I still got my son to look at. I still got my grandchild to look at. So I don't know about you. If you could relate to what I'm experiencing, I'm going to definitely work to release any unresolved feelings that I've had, that I held on to, pertaining to my child's father and anybody else too. I want to I'm like it's like everyone that I'm looking at now, it's like, oh man, I gotta let this shit go, because it's not worth it. I'm like, I forgive everyone, and I hope that everyone forgives me. I'm doing my best to walk in love. So if you do choose to use this phase to heal those emotional wounds, just say those things that you felt like you didn't have a chance to say, or that you couldn't say. Just say them. Write them down to that person. They'll understand. They still here. They'll understand. Even if whether you was mad, even if you were angry, you got to get that stuff out. You got to get it out. I cried so much. I didn't expect to cry. And you know what? I guess, with me crying, I was surprised to say to him that I take it all back, yo. I take it all back. I didn't mean it. A lot of things that I said, I did not mean it. I take it all back. Even though I don't get a second chance with him, to not even like a romantic relationship, to just be a little bit more closer, a little bit more cordial, I hope that he forgave me. I hope that he forgives me. I hope that he can find forgiveness towards me, So I encourage you to create a sacred space where you could honor their memory and speak your truth. You could light a candle. There's nothing wrong with that. And you could ask Archangel Gabriel to help you with healing and to communicate your emotions as you light the candle. And then you ask Archangel Sachiel for peace and harmony in your relationships. And just allow yourself to be led when you express what's in your heart. And just write everything down in your letter, sign and date it, and I say burn it. Burn it. You could take a picture if you want to, if you want to keep a copy of it, but burn it. Take the ashes and throw them into the air. And if you realize later that there's still something left unsaid, or an energetic imbalance is still lingering, you know that it's never too late to make peace. Write another letter. Their spirit can hear you. And you can still heal and find balance even across realms. It's time to let go of old beliefs about love, communication, and money. And right now, it's all about transformation and depth. Going deep to transform. So go deep. Because then you'll be able to go after your heart's desires. These things are blocking you. They're blocking you. Right now you can figure out, decipher, and uncover what your soul craves. So trust your instincts and follow your emotional compass. All right, here's a real life example to inspire you to take advantage of this full moon experience. Let's say that you've been wanting to start your own business or take a creative venture. And this super moon is the perfect time to set those wheels in motion. So imagine that you light a candle. And you call upon Archangel Sachiel for abundance and support. And you ask Archangel Gabriel to provide you with clear messages and guidance on how to proceed. And you allow the full moon's energy to take action. So you write down your goals. And then you're led to make a phone call and set up a meeting. And this is when you know that the universe is supporting you in a big way, because you didn't think about doing that before, or you didn't consider it. So I encourage you to take advantage of this time, you know, because your expectations you probably can't even expect what could happen just from you sitting down and taking action in this kind of way. I don't care whether it's what do you want? Just write it down. Set the goal. And just do one thing. Take one step towards it. It's important for you to harness the energy of this supermoon. You know? You could use this supermoon to harness a cash refund. Let's say you've been waiting on a refund for weeks, maybe even months. You try calling customer service, you send emails, you're tired of hearing the words, we're processing it. And you're at a point where it feels like your money is stuck in limbo, right? This is exactly when you want to turn to the power of this full moon in Aries, the supermoon phase, to unblock that energy and get your money flowing back to you. That's why you got to end those unresolved issues with other people that don't even fucking matter. It's just blocking your fucking money. That's all it's doing. That's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. They want you to block yourself. Or maybe you made maybe you made a ton of financial mishaps, right? And you mismanaged your finances all year, getting charged extra fees for late payments and finance charges. You could get all that money back and more, even if you overspent and indulge in unnecessary wasteful spending, should I say. So you could ask the universe for a cash refund for a do-over. So now if you perform this spell, you want to light a green candle, and then you're going to call on prosperity. All right? Or you could use a silver candle. All right? And you want to work with Archangel Sachiel for a financial abundance during this time. And you can still work with Archangel Gabriel, because you want Archangel Gabriel to clear up any communication blockages. And you just write down the exact amount of money that you're expecting to be refunded and from where. And you got to get, super specific with your intention. Write out your intention statement. And then you release your spell. And you can say, I'm so thankful and appreciative for this cash refund from unwise spending. And I receive this money back with appreciation and love. I receive this cash back with appreciation and love. And then you wake up the next morning with a sense of calm, trusting that your money is on its way. And if you do this right, then within the next day or two, you check your email, and there it is. Confirmation that your refund has been processed. Or maybe you get an email with an apology saying that they overcharged you. Something like that. I remember one time I had closed out a bank account, and I didn't realize that I had closed out the bank account. And well, when I closed out the bank account, I didn't realize that I had left money in that account when I closed it out. A deposit had went to the account. And years later, when I opened up, I went back to Wells Fargo and opened back up an account. And then they gave me back the money with interest, like, this is your money. And I was so surprised. That's when I did this spell. I did this spell. And I was like, what? And something said, go open up an account with Wells Fargo. And they keep your information in the account forever. That social security number, even if you close your account, your social security number is still attached to it. And they gave me back my money with some interest. And I think the check was something like $240. I was so surprised. I was so surprised. Or maybe the credit card company might boost your limit. Or maybe a stranger just walks up to you with the amount of money that you requested in a plastic bag. Or, a paper bag. And they just hand it to you. And they just walk off, blessing you for crossing their path. That's all I see. Ambulance with flashing lights, no sound. So you could expect these kind of results when you work with this supermoon. Full moon, supermoon in Aries. Quick action, resolutions, and a restored balance. Restored balance in your financial life. Not just in, when you heal your emotions, you'll be, it's going to be a trickle down effect. It's not just going to affect your relationships, it's going to affect all your relationships. Your relationship with money too. Now, I know that you probably itching to try this. You probably want to try this cash refund spell that I've been talking about, right? So if I get 11 likes and 11 comments on this video, then I'll post the exact spell for you to follow. And if you can't do it on the supermoon, it's okay. I'll tell you exactly when to do it. I mean, it's time for us to manifest what's rightfully ours, right? Celestial mystics. So you can't perform it on this supermoon, it's okay. It's still sitting in a holding space. It's in a vortex waiting for you to access it. It's just sitting, all of your dharma, waiting for you to release what's holding it back so that it can go and fill up that space. That's in the Bible. It says that when a man cleans out his house, right? So Jesus spoke of a man that had a lot of evil spirits and demons in him. And And they said he cleaned out his house, right? It was a metaphor. He cleaned out his house. But when he cleaned out his house, he forgot to fill it up with something. And the state that he was in, because he didn't fill up those spaces that he had opened up, the state that he was in was even worse than before he had cleaned out the spaces. So that's why you want to, and when you release, you want to put something back. So it's not just about releasing these emotions. You got to fill that space up with something. So this cash refund, you do these things simultaneously. It's like I'm releasing and I'm pulling something in. This is the perfect time to do that. This is the perfect time. Let's say you got, the full moon was yesterday. So let's say you could access this supermoon for a good 3 days. So you got time. And even if you don't do it, you can still tap into this time, because we're infinite beings. So even if you don't do it at this time, you can set an intention to say, you know what, I want to go back to this time, and I want to use that time and that space to do this. Yes, you can. I've done it, and it works. All right. So if you want a copy of this spell, then just say, bring my money back. Type that in the comments to let the universe, you'll also be letting the universe know that you're ready. But if I get 11 likes and 11 comments, then I'll post it. So we can start manifesting that cash flow together. All right. If I get 100 likes and comments by Thursday, 6 a.m., by tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., then you know what? I'll go live and perform the spell. It's Wednesday now. I'm posting this kind of late. I just want to see what's going to happen if I say that. Then I'll go live. Okay? So now the scripture that goes perfectly with this super moon for me is John chapter 1 verse 5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. So now this speaks to the illumination of the full moon. It brings clarity. And reveals what has been hidden. And of course, the tarot card that I would use would be the moon card, because it represents intuition. So does the high priestess, but I would use the moon card because we're talking about the moon. And we're talking about our subconscious mind and hidden things. And Saturn is retrograding in Pisces. And for me, the moon card is Pisces energy. I know that some people look at the moon card as the moon card, and they look at the high priestess as Pisces energy, but I do it. I'm flipped with when it comes to that. The high priestess is moon energy to me, and then the moon card for me is Pisces energy. So you can use this card in your full moon ritual to reveal what you need to know. And as I mentioned earlier, you're going to call on Archangel Sachael for prosperity. And you're going to call on Archangel Gabriel for divine communication. Right? You can work with both of them, or you can work with one or the other. It's up to you. Okay? So, my celestial mystics, what will you do to work with this powerful energy? The hunter's moon. This is your time to hunt for what you really want in life and bring it into existence. If you enjoyed this breakdown and are ready to tap into your magical potential, make sure to hit that like button, please, and comment below on how you're planning to work with this full moon. Damn, people walking around in pure black in the street. Okay. And share this video with anyone that you think that might benefit from this cosmic energy. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the magical content coming your way. I love you with that agape kind of love. Until next time, keep shining, keep manifesting, and keep aligning with your highest good. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.